Well, I hope everybody who celebrated had a good Thanksgiving. I will talk about mine on today's bonus show. Very, very compelling and exciting in different ways. We're going to hear from Pat about his trip to Colombia. No joke there. And so many other things. But if you paid attention at all to the news over the Thanksgiving holiday, you certainly must know by now that you must bow down to the Omicron COVID variant. Never leave your house again. Hide from this brutal, deadly variant, which will kill everyone and destroy the economy well, hold on a second. Let's actually back up for a bit. Is it possible it will be that bad? Yes. At any point, we don't want to belittle the fact that the possibility that we could get an extremely deadly variant. But the story that has been more or less the corporate media story so far, starting on Friday, which, by the way, led to the worst day for stocks of the year as a result of the panic, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down more than 2.5%, the Russell 2000 index down nearly 4%. I mean, just a disastrous day for stocks on the basis of Omicron. What is the truth of it? The truth is we don't really yet know almost anything about it that would lead us to say, this is it for being out of our houses. This is it for being able to sort of be living mildly more normal lives. This is it for the economy. The corporate media panic, which affected the stock market, was very much ahead of itself. And we're going to talk about that. So first, let's talk about the coulds. Could the Omicron variant be more deadly than any other? Sure, it could. Could the Omicron variant be more transmissible? Sure, it could be. And that may be the one element of it that we are closest to knowing about at this point in time. It's possible that it's way more transmissible. Does the Omicron variant make the current vaccines useless? It's possible that that could be the case, but we do not know any of that right now. And the panic is serving no one well. Now, there are some in the audience who might say, well, the panic is good because it's getting people ready to lock down or whatever. I disagree. I don't think that the panic at this point, absent actual information, is doing anybody any good. So let's talk about what we actually know about the new variant. First question. Let's actually look at the possibilities of what it could be and what we know. So Dr. Eric Topol tweeted over the weekend, important message from Dr. Lascelles, a leading South African infectious disease specialist. Now, Dr. Lascelles wrote, quote, just a note of caution. We know that getting a rapid understanding of disease severity with Omicron, particularly in vaccinated individuals and reinfections, is absolutely critical, but it's just too early for reliable data. Anecdotally, we're hearing from some in South Africa that Omicron variant symptoms are, quote, unusual, but mild. But that's not something to hang our hats on yet either. That could be because it is more young people so far hit with this variant in South Africa. Now, it's already all over the world. Identified in Canada, Germany, Belgium, Hong Kong, the United Kingdom. It's probably in the United States, says Dr. Anthony Fauci. So we've seen these containment measures basically punishing Southern Africa, and it's already all over the place. And that doesn't seem to be doing too much. But we do not yet know whether the symptoms will be more severe or more mild. Remember that in general, coronaviruses tend to get more transmissible and less severe over time. Becoming a really spreadable cold can take years, as Dr. Vincent Racaniello told us. The real headline is not one that causes panic and clicks and stock market declines, which is the headline from Science from this weekend, which is called, very boringly, Patience is Crucial, Why We Won't Know for Weeks How Dangerous Omicron Is. Now, one issue is that Omicron is rapidly replacing other variants in South Africa. So that's seen as a bad sign. It's very quickly outcompeting other variants. Now, that's possible that it could be because it's more transmissible and or more serious. It could also be due to chance. It could also be due to skewed testing or a number of other things. We don't know yet. Omicron could evade vaccine immunity and natural antibodies. It could, and that would be terrible. However, the number of mutations alone don't actually tell us that. But the general view so far is that if you have been vaccinated or recovered naturally from a previous variant, you would likely have some protection against Omicron. We don't yet know how much. There might be a drop. It could be a bigger drop than with other variants. We don't know. Now, we got an update this morning from the WHO, and the WHO is being very clear about all the things we do not know. Quote, "It is not yet clear whether Omicron is more transmissible. It is not yet clear whether infection with Omicron causes more severe disease compared to prior variants. Preliminary evidence suggests there may be an increased risk of reinfection with Omicron compared to other variants. We don't yet know. Same with vaccines. We don't yet know." That's the update as of just an hour ago. So in all seriousness, let's not ignore this. I am not saying don't worry about it, guys. Let's wait and see. And in the meantime, let's behave logically for the circumstances and facts that we know. Last thing, CEO Albert Bourla from Pfizer says Pfizer has already started to develop a new COVID vaccine tailored to the Omicron variant. Take a look at this.
When it comes to the vaccine, it remains to be seen. I don't think that the result will be the vaccines don't protect. I think the results could be, which we don't know yet, that the vaccines protect less, which means that if the vaccines protect less, it is that if we need to create a new vaccine. Already we started Friday. Friday we made our first DNA template, which is the first part of the manufacturing, of the development process of a new vaccine. And we have made multiple times clear that we will be able to have a vaccine in less than 100 days. In fact, we have already 2 vaccines built in less than 100 days.
So, we keep hearing this kind of 100-day number. Moderna has said something similar. So that's something that is being worked on. But let's go by what the data shows. And so far, what the data shows is there's 3 or 4 very important questions that we are asking and which need to be answered about this variant. We do not yet have those answers. And I think it's important that we not lose our minds until we actually do get those answers. If you think we should be panicking already, then let me know. But I think it's let's take it a step at a time. As many of you know, I always prefer to do. One of our sponsors is Nebbia, who's introducing their newest shower head, the Nebbia by Mon Quattro. It was designed by former NASA engineers who spent years researching how to save water. Quattro is the world's best high-pressure water-saving shower head, starting at just $119. And Quattro uses 40 to 50% less water than traditional shower heads, helping the planet, helping your wallet, still giving you the high-pressure water stream you love with 4 different spray modes. Literally takes 1 to 2 minutes to install. Easy as screwing in a light bulb. I love it. I have the rain shower version. I've been using Nebbia shower heads for a while now. I love saving the water, and I love the high-pressure spray. It's really the best of both worlds. Nebbia, the maker of Quattro, also offers sustainable bathroom accessories. I have the soft gray bath mat and the Nebbia double shelf. The Quattro shower head is just $119, but Nebbia is giving you 10% off when you go to nebbia.com/Pacman and use the promo code Pacman. The link is underneath this video.